First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you. This little guy has lied so much about my record. You're the liar. You're the lying guy up here. I've given my answer, Lion Ted. I've given my answer. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end. He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
No, they're not. And that's why you're our president. Welcome. Welcome to the year in Trump, or the year of Trump. Which is it? We took a poll and asked, the year in Trump or the year of Trump? Our results? The year of Trump beat the year in Trump by a tally of 4-2. We asked 6 people. Well, actually 7, but Lou Dobbs just shouted mayonnaise. And then he punched me in the face. Of course, Jill Stein is demanding a recount. But it really is the year of Trump. He put his big fat name all over 2016 like it was one of his gold-plated buildings on the Upper East Side. But in this Trumpy year, we learned some valuable stuff. 1, the more you dismiss something, the more you exalt it. Rather than be persuasive, the media became a withering insult machine, as did Hillary, directing bile not just at Trump, but at those who fell for him. There was plenty to be critical of, but the cheaper laughs at the average American's expense just pushed more souls to Trump, including those who saw him as the last choice among 17. Every time Trump ticked me off, moments later, Sarah Silverman would say something that would piss me off even more.
That USA's number one kind of fervor is, it's so scary. It's really my favorite combination in comedy, arrogant ignorance, you know? But it is. It's just this kind of like closed, xenophobic, like, we're number one and needing us to be number one. Number one in what? Juvenile diabetes?
And you wonder why they lost. So charming. So do you think after Hillary's loss, obnoxious stars might stop telling us how stupid we are? No, because they're Number 2. True, they are. Number 2, principles came in second to victory. Our strident religious leaders just admitted that winning is more fun than church. Hell, Donald Trump referred to the body of Christ as a cracker, and not because Jesus was white, but the godly still embraced him. Accusations of hypocrisy no longer apply. If you hated rhinos last year, now you can love them because ideology is dead. And yeah, Trump stretched the truth a little, but when you're up against Hillary, the fountain of all falsehoods, accusations of dishonesty don't rate. Which brings me to number 3. The Dems should have listened to us. Sorry, Bernie, America was not sick and tired of her damn emails. The emails exposed her arrogant deceptions. And get this, Benghazi mattered. People cared about who pushed the video, despite the media's mockery. If the left weren't so blinded by gender politics, they would have found someone who didn't somehow work Anthony Weiner back into the picture. His package was always part of the package. Number 4. The identity grift no longer worked. It had a good run, 4 decades of calling people racist or homophobes or racist homophobes. But the boys who cried bigot finally wore out its welcome. The social justice warrior is now the official piñata for ridicule. They are the workout leotards of 2016. Yeah, I miss those. I'm wearing one right now. But America, do not get comfortable. Left-wingers, they're like zombies. They always rise from the grave, only in new clothes. Communists became progressives. Radical subversives became social justice ghouls. So the left will be back. And whatever they become next will be worse. Because if there's one thing we learned, that they never learn at all. Yes. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's so bright. You can get a suntan just by sitting next to him. Washington Times political columnist and Fox News contributor Charles Hurt. He's as sharp as a stick, and like a dog, he's always fetching. Guy Benson, downall.com political editor and Fox News contributor. She tells her old acquaintance to go pound sand. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. And Stonehenge is his paperweight. TNA wrestler and Fox News contributor Tyrus. All right. Do we have, I think we might have another little chunk of Donald from the debates, and I want to ask you what your favorite moments were. Do we have something here?
We have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
Casual about the use of nuclear weapons. He's went after a disabled reporter, mocked and mimicked him on national television. He has consistently denied what is a very
such a nasty woman.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Charles, a lot to choose from over this year. What was your favorite part of the debates or part of the primaries in general? Was there a moment that, like, sticks out?
Well, I mean, really, there wasn't a bad debate in either the primary or in the general election. They were all fantastic.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic because of him, because he, he rewrote all the rules. Probably, if I had to pick the most, the most important one was the second general election debate, where the media had thrown everything at him for 2 weeks, and he had to go out there after being called, all these things, and he had to go out there and just sort of keep on going.
Yeah.
And he succeeded. But probably the single most important was when it was the first debate, the Fox debate, where he walked out and he was cruising for a bruising, and he went out there and he started a fight, and he got into a fight. And then within minutes, he was mocking Rand Paul for being 2% in the polls and on the stage with him. And at that moment, it was clear all the rules had been rewritten.
Yeah, I also love the fact during that debate that he didn't raise his hand.
Yeah.
That was like he was like, why would I raise my hand?
And before he didn't raise his hand, he looked up and down the aisle and said, well, they're all doing one thing, I'm doing something different.
No, that was
they must be wrong.
He was the opposite of peer pressure. Yeah. Guy, what was your favorite moment?
I think one of his stronger moments came against Ted Cruz in a head-to-head where he responded to the New York values attack.
Yes.
Because Cruz was trying to send a message, this guy's a liberal, this guy can't be counted on, he's secular. And it was, what he was trying to say was something pretty political and typical. Yeah. And rather than saying, that's not true, I'm a conservative, he said, how dare you attack my city and my state? How about our spirit on 9/11? And I think Cruz was utterly unprepared for that comeback. And then my favorite general election debate moment was Hillary Clinton had this pretty devastating line of attack where she was going, and it's ironic now because she was saying this man may not accept the election results. And so, perish the thought. And she went down this whole litany of instances where he has claimed something was rigged against him when it didn't go his way. She said, even his Celebrity Apprentice show didn't win the Emmys, and he said those were rigged. And off camera, he goes, we should have gotten it. And, it was such a serious attack from her, but when he jumped in and still insisted they should have won the Emmy, she almost started to laugh.
Yeah. It's like, what can you do? He's a character. Kat, what did you find? What was memorable to you?
I think my favorite thing is every time he ever said anything, he'd always go like this. It's the best face ever. I can't stop. I've started making that face.
It's like he's...
Okay,
it's like he's thinking with his lower jaw.
Like a resting bulldog face.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The debates were interesting to watch. My life is not as exciting now that I don't get to sit there with my little mug of wine, my little coffee mug of wine, and watch and tweet away. With the first debate, we've got Rosie O'Donnell and her appearance coming into it, and everyone's saying, that's incredibly problematic for him to have done. But boy, was it fun to watch.
Yes. I'm more troubled by the mug of wine. I get your philosophy.
It's Our Lady of Shesh Jehovah mug of wine, so it's a religious experience.
I'm sure it is. I think what you're trying to say is that because you don't go outside and drink socially, you can drink wine in
Why
anything.
would I have wine glasses? All regular cups hold the same fluid.
Yeah, that is true. That is true and very sad, Tyrus. Very sad.
If I wasn't so scared of her, I'd give her a hug. my favorite moment was, and he had a lot of moments, but as a guy who likes to get the last word in, I feel like Donald has the same disease I do.
Yeah.
Hillary hit him with some stuff. And on far as political points go, she probably won every debate. But he always had a good comeback, even if it literally was the worst thing you could possibly say in the moment. And I've been guilty in that. If you've ever argued with a woman, she's going to hit you with a lot of stuff, and you got to come back with, and he came back with, "You nasty woman." And from a guy who's dropped, like, "You nasty woman," or "Is that the makeup you're going to go with?" Stuff like that to get him. I'm just saying. I didn't say dance. I said you look fat in your pants. You come up with stuff like that to win arguments because you can't beat them on substance.
Yeah. I think he was, in a way, a proxy for, and we didn't expect it, but a proxy for Americans, because he not only did he say certain things, he also would get bored. He would get fidgety. He would do his wise-ass comments. Yeah, it was like a 10-year-old at his sister's piano recital. Even after a debate, he even said, "That was way too long." Do you remember that? He goes, "Oh, yeah, this is too long. We don't need to. People at home don't need to watch all that." Remember that? It was like the first or second one. He was like,
I don't think they didn't need those undercard debates, by the way.
Yeah.
Those were sad. That was like the separate lunchroom for the kids with the peanut allergies.
Yes.
Like, really depressing.
The debates are like the movie Office Space, you know? Like, the guy would come out and ask for T-forms, and Trump was like, "Oh, man, I'm going to change stuff. Next, go to commercial. Let's move on." Like, he didn't do his homework. He didn't study the long, boring political jargon that we hear.
Right.
All the different 8 points of things you're never going to do. He just wanted to get to the substance and get out.
Yeah.
And listening to him mock a 14-point plan, can you believe it? Who has a 14-point plan? And as he's a master marketer, and as a master marketer, his ability to know what the customer wants.
Yeah.
And he figured that out so well. And not only did he reveal that he knew it so well, he revealed how, like, the media totally doesn't get the customer anymore.
Exactly. Last word, guy?
You played it in the montage where he made the little quip about she'd be in jail, and people lost their minds. The media's like, "Oh my God, he's an authoritarian who's going to unilaterally put people in prison." And I think most voters by that point had realized you don't take everything he says literally.
Yeah.
And the media never learned that lesson. And also, for all the fainting that they were doing, according to polling, a majority of the American people disagreed with Comey's decision not to recommend an indictment against Hillary Clinton. So it's not like he was way out of bounds.
We gotta go. I keep thinking about that movie that it was a left-wing fantasy called Bulworth. Remember with Warren Beatty?
Yep.
They made this up, but this actually happened. This actually was Bulworth for the right. I think it was a very unusual phenomenon. All right, coming up, a story so cool you're going to need to run your fingers under warm water so they don't have to be removed. That's disgusting. Thank you. Which Donald Trump slogan was the best? Hint, they're all equally awesome. But first, this. She's like a highway in Alaska. Nothing but cold shoulders. McDonald's only sells her unhappy meals. And she's our goddess of gloom, our princess of pessimism, our maiden of misery. If good news were a parade, she would rain on it. If hating everything were an Olympic event, she'd win the gold, silver, and bronze. She's like a runner's cramp, sharp and painful. She's quirky and smirky, her soul quite murky. Like a fresh-cut dandelion, she's always bitter. In school, they called her Four Eyes because she looked like a potato. She's where silver linings go to die. She's like a tube of toothpaste on the floor, crestfallen. He ruled the land with his relentless brand. It's Trump's greatest skill, his ability to brand everything, clothing, buildings, water. He brands more product than a cattle rancher on meth. So here is Trump's step-by-step guide on how to create a winning brand and becoming president of the United States. It's very easy. Step one, come up with a catchy phrase. Repeat it over and over and over and over again, and also write it across your forehead.
We are going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. Make America great again. Make America great again. We'll make America great again.
Step two, keep all campaign promises to approximately 3 words or less to help eliminate confusion.
Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. We're not winning anymore. We're going to start winning so much. We're going to start winning again. We're going to build the wall. Believe me, we're going to build the wall. We're going to build the wall, right? We're going to have the wall. We're going to have the wall. We're going to make the wall now 10 feet taller.
Repetition and simplicity. It's genius. Step 3, reinforce trust by constantly repeating these 2 words.
Believe me, believe me, believe me, believe me, believe me, believe me.
The result, Trump indoctrinated half of America into his very special army. He's like Kiss without the makeup, Scientology without the freaky beliefs, Freemasons, but with way better hats. All right, Guy. What was your favorite, I guess, slogan? What do you think really worked for him?
Look, the fact that if you went out on the street and asked the average American what was Donald Trump's campaign slogan, I think most people would know, make America great again. He said it over and over again. People said, oh, these hats are so unsophisticated and rudimentary. Well, they worked. And so I tried to remember. I follow this stuff for a living. What was Mitt Romney's slogan? Does anyone remember? It was Believe in America. John Kerry's slogan was really inspiring in 2004. Let America be America again. Donald Trump's like, that's lame. Cut a bunch of words out. Make America great again. Build a wall. You say it over and over again. People actually have a sense of what he might want to do. What does Donald Trump want to do as president? The wall. People know it because he understands marketing, he understands sticking to a message, and with all the squirrels he would chase and all the insane distractions of 2016, it would come back to a few key phrases that people internalize.
Yeah. Charles, do you think it matters if he doesn't follow through with some of this stuff? Because people do really, it's like, I don't know who said it earlier, not many people believe everything he says, so he's not going to lock her up, and when he said he wasn't going to lock her up, everybody said, yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, no, I think that, I think that a lot of people, that was one of the big failures of the media, was that everybody took him absolutely, literally throughout all of it, and they didn't understand that, okay, build a wall or secure the border. Secure the border would be a great step. I mean, Washington's been talking about that for, 25 years, and they haven't, and they failed to do it. But probably, I think the best slogans were the ones that he hung on his enemies, like Pocahontas for Elizabeth Warren, and he calls her Pocahontas, and everybody's so outraged. And then at the end, finally, he apologizes to Pocahontas. Yeah, it's just perfect. That's the best. But the other thing is that Mitt Romney just ruined being rich in America, and Donald Trump made it great again. Made it great to be rich again. Yeah, and he'd fly around in his plane. And my favorite scene of the whole campaign was when Ted Cruz came out to Cleveland for the RNC, and he's trying to give some speech by the lake. And here comes Donald Trump's plane. And he circles a couple of times, completely drowning out the guy's speech. Yeah, it was perfect.
In the movie, Cruz is going to be the bad guy, and the actor who plays Cruz will probably be nominated for an Oscar because it's such a brutal, like he's going to be the most unlikable person.
But the scene has already been filmed. That was Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack when Judge Smails is trying to christen his ship, and here comes Rodney Dangerfield in his big boat. Yeah,
he was. Tyrus, do you think these things were successful, or was it?
I think they were successful.
Yes.
What are we laughing and talking about?
Yes.
Look, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do we know him for his theatrical? No, his stick around. His lines, his one-lines. They stick. People think about it, and they can use it in the sentence as tangible. Hillary Clinton, when her catchphrases was like those late-night Animal Planet commercials for the dogs. They're like 4 minutes long. Yeah. Even though your heart's in like, oh, the dogs. We got to. After a while, you.
Yeah,
because you're so long, and I get it.
Yeah,
I come from a wrestling background. We're all about the one phrase. For me, it was somebody call your mama, and I'd be walking down the street. They didn't talk about somebody call your mama, and I'd be like, okay, bro, call my mama. And it's the same thing.
I need a catchphrase.
You get it, yeah.
I don't know what
creepy is cool, and then just.
I don't even know. Well, you know what? Cool is creepy.
See?
There you go.
CC.
Yeah.
GGCC.
See, it works for me. Kat, what do you make of this? Simplicity was brilliant.
Yeah, also, you know, build the wall. Everyone understands what that means. It's hard to do, but when people explain why he couldn't build the wall and let Mexico pay for it, that was harder to understand than, well, he's going to build the wall and get Mexico pay for it. People say, well, everyone's already done listening because it gets boring.
Yes.
People are pro-winning.
Yeah.
People are pro-America. Again, his facial expressions just crush it every time for me, really. I really just love that. Made it very simple, very fast, very positive message. Really couldn't go wrong with that.
He would also physically hug American flags.
Yeah.
Like he would come on stage and be like, look at this flag. Oh, I love the flag. It was
I
like,
love
hey,
it.
flag hugging.
Believe
I love this flag.
I was like, all right,
I love this
that's
flag.
working.
Plus, it gets stuck in your head whether you like it or not. Like, I know that My Pillow gives you the best night's sleep in the whole wide world. Do I know that? From working here, yes. If it's true, I don't know, but I still have it in my head. And it's the same thing with all things.
That's why I keep buying a lot of gold and silver.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I don't even know why I'm doing it. It's like, I don't understand it. Because they keep saying, now has never been a better time. And I'm thinking, but this ad's been going on for a while. So if I bought it for a couple of years ago, that was a bad move. No, it's a great move. What am I talking about? Gold and silver? It's never been a better time to buy. As well as reverse mortgages and solid gold catheters. We'll be back. All right, coming up, a story so crazy you'd think it was made out of straws. President-elect Trump and his tweets, they go together like a pair of socks. Why do some people want to separate them? But first, this.
He's so big, his body's divided into both commercial and residential units.
Took 5 storks to deliver him. He uses the Goodyear plimp as a pillow. A volcano is his hot tub. He uses a cruise ship as a bath toy. A satellite dish is his dinner plate. He uses a Ferris wheel as a unicycle. A hula hoop is his toe ring. He uses Big Ben as a pocket watch. He uses a redwood as a toothpick. He uses SUVs as roller skates. TNA wrestler Tyrus. Why so bitter about our leader's Twitter? A post-election poll showed 60% of Americans want President-elect Trump to close his Twitter account, to which Trump replied, oh, that's disgusting. Why should he stop tweeting? How do you think he got elected? By hiding from the media? Never talking to anyone? Never answering questions? Letting someone else tweet for you? No, that's how you lose an election. Twitter gave Mr. Trump a 24/7 megaphone. Literally 24/7. Remember those 3 a.m. tweets after the first debate when Clinton brought up former Miss America, Miss Universe, Alicia Machado? Everyone thought he was nuts. Bad move. What are you doing? But then a few hours later, this. Quote, for those few people knocking me for tweeting at 3 a.m., at least you know I will be there awake to answer the call. He threw himself his own lifeline. Let's face it, the media doesn't want Trump tweeting because it eliminates them. Who needs Chuck Todd when you got an iPhone and a handle? Still, you got to wonder what the election would have been like if Donald Trump didn't tweet. Adorable, but really, really boring, I think is what it is. Kat, you're on Twitter. I firmly believe that tweeting doesn't make anyone look better. It makes them worse because it takes advantage of your impulsiveness and your emotion. Like when you're having a great time, you never tweet, right?
I know. That's why I tweet all the time. And, that is true. There's been so many nights where I've done some tweeting before, you know, going to bed, passing out. And you wake up in the morning and you're like, what have I done?
Yes.
Before you go to bed, everyone that's tweeting at you being like, what? What is that? You're like, oh, I hate these people. They don't have losers. And you wake up and you're like, maybe they were right.
Yes.
Maybe that is something I should not have shared with 100,000 people. But, you know,
Nice humble brag.
No, it's not. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that.
I was doing the math in my head, like 100 or 10.
No, it's more than 100. But you know what? But look, it's actually 113. But I
remember my first Twitter account.
I think that Trump. It's I always feel embarrassed when I put my own personal drama on the internet. People could tell I'm going through something. I feel like Trump should be a little more careful to not put our country's drama on the internet, so that they know when our country is going through something. I think that there should be the same level of embarrassment that I have, he should have, and then maybe a little more.
Yeah. Tyrus, is there a strategy here that he realized if something's happening that's big, he'll tweet as a distraction so people don't look at it's a shiny bauble over here?
It's genius in the sense that he's taken.
I'll take taken. Great.
He's
movie.
managing his own destiny.
Yes.
He's not waiting for the media to spin it. You're getting it from the horse's mouth. So if I want to know something from Donald, I will go to him. And how many times have you been able to do that in terms of a president? So, and he's going to answer it, and sometimes entertain. Some of it cracks me up, some of the things that he says. But the fact that he takes it on, because I would do the same thing. But usually, with a gang of beer or something, be like, oh, let me tell her what I think. But the fact that he's doing that, that people get that. We relate to that.
Yeah.
One of the great things about George Bush was that guys felt like they could have a beer with him.
Yeah.
And the thing about Donald Trump is you think you can talk to him. Like if he walked in this room, I think everyone here would be like, hey, Donald, I'm having an issue with this, and I don't like this. And I'll be like, all right, cool, I'll tweet you, I'll let you know, I'll hit you back. but that's what America, we like that.
Yeah.
The check sex tape and pass, I love, by the way. You can answer any question with that.
I had no idea. All right, Guy, is this a good strategy? One of my friends tells me that Trump misspells tweets on purpose to create more combustion. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm trying to figure out, have we confirmed, does Trump inherit the @POTUS official Twitter handle? Because that would be, first of all, amazing. Yeah. And his first tweet upon taking office and taking hold of this handle should be @Barack Obama. Just sad exclamation point. It's like, welcome. A good welcome.
No, but I don't think your friend is altogether wrong about that. I think he does sort of he trolls linguists all the time.
Right.
Like when he talks about big league, big league, and I waited for months for some reporter at the New York Times to come out and say big league isn't a word. Yeah. And I looked it up. It's a word. Yeah. Big league, and he always used it correctly. And it would have been so great if some smarty pants had corrected him on it, and he would have just dropped the dictionary on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Check this out.
Yeah, exactly. Problem with doing a segment like this, which is, let's just say it's pre-taped by a few hours from its initial air. There'll be about 6 tweets that have happened since then that we will wish we could talk about.
I can't wait for New Year.
I know.
In a few hours from right now.
Exactly. Exactly. More of the year of Trump after a break. But first, as we kick 2016 to the curb, let's look back on the things we frankly had enough of and wish would go away in 2017. Yes, we're sick of seeing you and hearing you, and it's time for you to call it a day.
Going to have to unpack that.
Let's unpack it a little bit. Unpack the conspiracy.
To be part of our studio audience, email Greg Tix at foxnews.com.
They sang, they preached, they stomped, they cried, but in the end, the preferred candidate was trumped. I speak of the many celebrities who tried their very best to influence your vote with their fabulousness. There was Lena.
My girl's a rider, progressive freedom fighter, going up against a dude who's a climate change denier. She worked harder than her man did, still saw her grandkid, and people have the nerve to ask her what her plan is. The plan is to win against hatred and slurs. Break it down in 3 words. I'm with her.
All right. Interesting thing, you know, vomit actually throws up in its own mouth. Vomit actually has a mouth. All right, and of course, my good friend Amy.
I hope that people don't blame you if an orange sexually assaulting Godzilla who started a fake college is up the entire planet a year or so from now. That would be a bummer, right?
Yeah, well, he won. And whoever these people are...
Donald Trump is some garbage fire. And the worst presidential candidate our country's ever seen. So
You got to vote.
That makes everything feel so good right now. It really does. It does. All of them are an example of what I call opposite influencers. A lot of people on the fence probably voted for Trump just to spite these twits. Trump should thank them just to make them more mad. All right, Charles, do you think any of these people will have a moment of self-reflection and go,
No,
boy, no,
it's not possible.
Yes.
And then they promised to leave the country. What did they think people were going to do when they promised to leave the country if they voted? Probably my favorite accidental helper, though, was remember when Senator Lindsey Graham called Trump a jackass? And then Trump decided to pull out of his desk the number, his personal private phone number that he had left him to help him get onto Fox News more often, actually. And he read it to the world. And then what I loved more than anything after that was when he was done with it, what did Lindsey Graham do? He changed his phone number. Do you know what Donald Trump would have done if his phone was blowing up? He would have figured some way to make like $1,000 out of that. He would have redirected the number to some hotline. It would have been
Did Lindsey Graham destroy his physical phone?
Right.
He didn't know that you could just change the number and change the phone.
Hit the silent button. Oh, no call.
I have done that many times. I've destroyed phones just because of something that was in there.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get it out.
That's a different issue.
Yeah, it is entirely. And I still don't know if I got it out. You'll find out later. Guy, I don't even know what I was going to ask you. But I want to ask you this question anyway. Did they help Hillary lose even more?
Well, I think that you just mentioned his #1 accidental helper, which was Hillary Clinton. She was so awful.
Yeah.
So this gave him an opportunity to win, which he did. I also saw, this one actually made me laugh out loud. It was, I believe, the night or 2 nights before the election, and Madonna announced that she was going to be doing an impromptu acoustic concert in Union Square in downtown Manhattan, at which she performed Like a Prayer in front of 13 people or something. And this was to rally for Hillary. This was to get out the vote. And I just don't, it mystifies me that did not turn the tide in rural Wisconsin.
No. Do you remember, and I think we even did this on the show, Madonna said that she would give oral sex to any man who voted for Hillary, and after that, her numbers went down.
Yeah, you haven't been like a virgin in 4 decades. But, going back to the original question about celebrities that had to relocate.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. If Donald's listening, I would love to be on the urban relocation program, where hence after he's sworn in, me and a few of the homies in a truck come to take you to Canada. So Cher.
Yeah.
Cher can get her wigs, and do her dancers have to go with her? I say yes, and we'll just load them up, and here you go, Canada.
Yeah, there you go. And Canada will be thrilled, Pat. Will these celebrity videos continue? I mean, will they finally wise up and see that these things are bad news?
No, they won't. Well, they're still, you know, they're still doing it now with, you know, with the Electoral College thing. They were, you know, they were doing that. They're going to keep going because they think people care, but they don't care. People don't care because we don't relate to them. Lena Dunham, she tries to brand herself as the, like, I'm kind of chubby, so I'm just like you thing, but doesn't matter because not everybody, even if they're chubby, has their parents pay for them to live in New York after college and give them money for their stupid movie they make about their own lives. And only to go on and do a show, which I think that she just has that show to force her naked body on as many people as possible.
Yes.
There's nothing relatable about any of that. When I think, who am I going to listen to make decisions, I don't think naked lady who's eating cake on the toilet on television.
Yes.
Well,
I think I saw that video.
Of course, because you can't escape it.
Yes.
They've become elitist, which is ironic to me. They've become elitist. It's their way or no way. And they don't relate to anyone because no one wants to hear a celebrity tell them how rough they've got it.
Yeah.
You know,
The other thing, too, is the real revelation is the outrage that they have for Trump reaches a zenith that they never possess for terror. It's like they never get this angry over anything, like the people that actually blow up buildings. Anyway.
Because he beat them to it.
Yes. Yeah. Coming up, a story so hot, you'd think it was Lou Dobbs in a Speedo. Who mends fences better than Donald Trump? I mean, besides Phil the fence mender, there's a really good grade on Angie's list. Somehow, throughout the entire campaign, Donald Trump could get away with saying anything. Some may call them lies. I prefer to think of them as truth additives. But no matter how many he manages to say, he has an amazing ability to mend fences afterward. Like when he said this, my favorite Trumpy truth about Lyin' Ted's father.
His father was with Lee Harvey Oswald prior to Oswald's being, shot. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. What is this, right prior to his being shot? And nobody even brings it up. I mean, they don't even talk about that. That was reported, and nobody talks about it.
So bad. It's so bad. He said his father may have been involved in the shooting of JFK. And he was still elected president. And then met with Senator Ted Cruz for a lovely conversation. Which is pretty gutsy for Donald Trump, given that Ted Cruz comes from a family of assassins. All right. How does he manage? Okay, that's a pretty big lie. How do you get away with that lie?
I don't know, but I mean it is a truly abusive relationship. And Ted, and stop and think about this. Ted Cruz came into this election. He played the game better, more. He thought through every angle. He was going to be nice to Trump until everybody was gone, and then he was going to run in and deliver the kill. And he winds up, and what wound up happening is he played everything so badly. He got so beaten so badly. He is the one Republican of all 17 who can never run again.
Yeah, no.
He got destroyed.
Well, he got exposed for who he was, which was a climber who actually decided to become best friends with the bully until the bully turned on him, and then he's the least liked.
And who exposed him?
Trump.
Yes. Totally.
Exactly.
But then he
He's
came
the
back.
exposer.
Then he came back to the bullies team, right? So he was buddy with Trump when it served his interests.
Yeah.
Then the relationship fell apart when, insulting of wives' looks and crazy theories about fathers assassinating presidents. Tends to
He
do
was
it.
in Dallas though that day, just to be clear.
So
okay. Can you just imagine what Ted Cruz's Christmas dinner is going to be like? The sound of silverware on the plate while his wife's just glaring at him. You had to be his friend. We're going to be in the cabinet. We're Secretary of State. We're doing this and that. Your green eggs and them sucks. Like, I'm sure his house is brutal.
He got booed off the. He got booed off the stage.
I just hate his face.
Did you see Brian Kilmeade's face during that interview while he was being interviewed? Is there a way you can bring that up?
No. What happened?
He just, kind of feels how we all feel. Look at that. Look at his face.
He just doesn't know what to do.
Sitting there.
Is he say he can't say?
Listening to Donald Trump accuse Cruz's father of being an assassin, and his face looks the only way that it can when that's happening on your Fox and Friends couch.
I can live with like a lie here and there, but I don't like conspiracies because conspiracies always are a replacement for thought, right? And that, I mean, wait, you would disagree with me. You like them.
Conspiracies.
No, it's not Donald Trump's fault that Americans
that he was there and killed JFK.
That Americans don't believe in their government, don't believe in institutions. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's all the professional politicians who've been abusing voters for decades before him, and you can't be surprised that somebody.
That's no excuse to perpetuate it.
What about, I mean, okay, so it's like your uncle sends you an email from a Nigerian prince, and you find out that he's like given your will. The money that was in your will is gone. That's what I'm talking about.
All I have to do is provide my Social Security number and bank routing number.
Yes. Well, Trump wasn't mending any fences. I think that's important to point out. He just got the power to further destroy the fences by becoming the president, so that people had to pretend, be nice to him.
This is America. You got to know not to believe in the Nigerian
better
prince.
than that.
Yeah, it's true.
Was that he knew they had to come back, and from a guy who's maybe bullied once or twice his day, there's nothing better than knowing they have to come back. Like they might have said, like, one day the teacher was outside at recess, so you're not going to bully me anymore. Okay. Teacher called in sick the next day. I'm waiting at hopscotch.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with Trump, with these guys, is they all ran their mouths, and then they had to come back to Trump Tower and ask for a job. I would have loved to see Mitt going, hey. Oh, man.
He didn't apologize, though, apparently.
No, he didn't apologize, and it's hard to apologize when you have a because you're kissing it the entire time.
All good people, though. All good people, with the exception of maybe one. Of all these people that had, I mean, I think everybody had sincere issues, right?
No, who's all good people? All the
America?
People running?
No, I'm just saying.
Americans are, but I mean, the politicians aren't. They have screwed things up.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like, Mitt's a good guy. I happen to think that Mitt's a good guy.
Okay, but he's terrible at his job. If politics is his job,
he did the Olympics, good sir.
Okay, well then go back to doing the Olympics. Get out of politics.
He has great hair, right? You like his hair.
His hair is fantastic hair.
It's very good.
All right, I think we can agree on that. Yeah. All right, final thoughts next. All right, this is exciting. Join me and Dana Perino for an event called Short Stories by Short People. It's Saturday, January 28th at Warner Theater in Washington, D.C. There will also be music by our host, Larry Gatlin. Yes, you can get your tickets by going to Ticketmaster.com. So we're almost out of time here, so...
What you've wanted to say all show, but haven't had the chance to say, so here's your chance to say it. Right now.
Charles?
I'd say that the best thing about this election is I hope it's the last time we do the racial identity politics.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, he crushed that. And if that goes away in America, then that's a great accomplishment.
It won't, but I hope it will. Guy?
Well, let's face it, it's a show called The Year of Trump, so there's a very good chance that Mr. Trump is watching right now. He loves watching Fox, which is great. And it's not a secret that I'm a bit tough on Trump and have been for a while. But if you're watching, one of your first acts as president is going to be picking a Supreme Court justice. If you pick a young constitutionalist, I will wear a red baseball cap for a day. How about that?
Tyrus?
I'll be reading from the Book of Light.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as an accident. There is only your true self. Trying to get your attention. Ask your heart what the message is.
Wow. Oh, fantastic.
I'm underwater because that was so deep. Thank you, Dana. The gift that keeps giving.
Yes, from Dana Perino. A book from Dana Perino. All right, last word, Kat.
Little Marco would actually be a great name for a goldfish.
Can't argue with that. Thanks to Charles Hurt, Guy Benson, Katherine, Tyrus, our studio audience. I'm Greg Gutfeld. I love you, America. I do.